that's a good intro. Let me start again. This is my 2009 Rav4 Toyota. I was going to go on a trip about a week ago, which I did. But before that, right before that, my door indicator light stopped working. It took me a while to figure out how that works. I didn't really look anything up. I just kind of started poking around the car for a little bit. Well, part of it was for sure my latch on my trunk door. This, what do they call it in the store? This is a tailgate. Apparently, tailgate. Tailgate, because, well, when you look up the parts, tailgate, door latch, whatever, what nonsense. So the rear door latch wasn't working super well, and the door light indicator was not turning off. And of course, going on a trip, I didn't want to have to lose my battery power. Maybe the door light indicator wouldn't have burned it out that quickly, but I don't know. I'm on a Walmart battery, so. I went on a wild goose chase trying to figure out what my light indicator was. Turns out it's a switch, push switch that is actuated by the door. It goes right here. Turns out the switch is, if you disconnect it completely, the door indicator doesn't work. Or rather, it turns off, which is really nice because then you can just remove it and then your door indicator light doesn't work. You can lock your door still. It doesn't know. What's wrong with the switch? I actually don't think the switch is broken. It works. If you press it whilst it's plugged in, it still turns off the light. Automotive stores, the guys let me look at their screen, be like, oh, is this the part you're looking for? Yes. It was like $180 something. This thing, 40 bucks, which is direct replacement on Amazon. I didn't look at Rock Auto. I figured lead time would be too long. This came in like 2 days, Amazon. So that's useful because I didn't have a week to wait and stuff. I kind of needed this quickly. Well, I needed it the next day. So I fixed it as it is. Anyway, let me start ripping that apart. This is held in all with like plastic plungers. Plungers? Plungers. Plungers? Is that the... I don't know if plungers is the right word. And a few more have become disassembled. Anyway, alright, and disconnect the little light up here. The light bulb in the door. This thing is easier to pull out than the actual plug. Just pull out the whole light. Whatever. Okay. White piece still stuck in here. Alright. Door latch itself takes a T30 star bit. Looks like this. T30 star bit. Oh. Plug. Door lock plug. Probably something else too, don't know. And then there's a lever in here going from the latch itself or the handle. Then that's it. 3 screws and it's out. Putting it back in should be relatively the same. The door latch bar, there's a little straight bar, goes from the door handle. That bar goes through here. You just sink it through and then line up these screws with holes in the door and it goes in. So truly very simple. Extremely simple. So this thing was 40 bucks. Hopefully it works. I don't know about that, but we'll see. I had good reviews, so that's what I usually go for. Good reviews. That lines up like that. Door handle bar is in. Start these. I'm going to start them by hand because I cross-thread everything always. It's just what I do professionally, basically. I think that's lined up. Switch back in. Done. Actually, this is extremely easy, which is awesome. Taking apart the internals, not easy. Don't do that. Just buy a new part. Well, actually, in my case, I had to do it, so I'll show you what I did to make it work. But if you can get away without it, just buy a cheap replacement. I think it's more than good enough. Right, now all these plastic plungers back in. Right, get your little light. Okay, I think that's all in. This doesn't seem flush. Top, sides. When I've done this previously, I actually put these all together. I put all these plastic panels back in one piece, and that's actually more trouble than it's worth. Definitely disassemble it. That makes it way easier. Okay, all right, back where we were. Camera overheated. I replaced the switch. Well, no, didn't replace it, sorry. I reinstalled this switch. So, looks like with the new latch installed, it both closes and turns off my door open or door ajar indicator. All right, so if you're like me and you find out all these issues at the 11th hour, and you have to be somewhere the next day, and the back door isn't fully closing, and something's wrong, this might help you out. So the internal parts of this door latch are just a bunch of plastic gear that is actuated by the lock motor. The lock motor spins this way, turns the gear. The gear actuates this thing up and down, and that sort of locks something. I don't know how. Anyway, for some reason, whoever designed this, who's really smart, decided that the arm that I guess the arm would disconnect the handle from the latch, which I guess that makes sense, in case you lock it so that you can't pull the doorknob and unlatch it if it's locked, which fine. What I did instead is I just hardwired the handle mover to the door latch lever. So what I did was drill a tiny hole in the door latch lever right there in the corner, and then I drilled another tiny hole right there in this door latch connector, and then I put a tiny little, this is a stem from a rivet, put it through those two holes and bent it into place. Basically lock these pieces together, and now the lever always works. So the lever always works and always opens up the door latch. So if you're ever in a situation where you need the door to latch and nothing works, just disconnect the button in case the button doesn't work. Disconnect it. It'll show that the door's closed, and then just connect these two infinitely. So, yep, that's about it. And that latches your door, and then you can close it.